box sheets that we've been completing. Do we turn those in to you at any point, or?
Nope.
Okay, I
That
just want to
is
make sure I
all
wasn't
for
missing
you.
that. All right.
Yeah, I don't need those. If you were doing the hybrid class where you weren't meeting with me, like then I would ask for them. But with the way that we're running class, it's in your best interest to do them because obviously you're going to need those skills. But I'm not going to monitor that. So, but everybody want to introduce Shannon. She is one of our tutors over in the math and science tutoring center. So the STEM tutoring center, which is over in the LRC building on the main campus. However, beauty is that Shannon is here to talk to us about virtual tutoring. So Shannon, I'll let you take it away.
Thanks, Erin. So I'm the online tutor, and that means that you can access tutoring online for your math and science classes. So it sounds like you guys have an online class, so it might be super helpful for some of you who aren't able to go to campus. I'm just going to show you how to access our online tutoring. So it's all right if I share my screen?
Oh, please do. Do I have it enabled?
No.
Okay, let me change. Let's see. Whoops. Settings. Okay, there you go. You should be able to do it.
Okay. So the links to online tutoring are right in Eagle Online. So if you go to your Eagle Online and go to the little squares where you've got all your courses listed, everyone should have STEM Tutoring Center as one of their courses that's been loaded for all students. So you just go into the STEM tutoring, and then there are links to online tutoring. So scroll down, there's on campus, there's the hours, and then there's online. This right here will take you into Google Hangouts as long as you're logged into your FECC email account. It'll take you right to Google Hangouts, and you just type, hey, I have a question, and a tutor will jump on and chat with you. And then what we do is we go into a video chat app, which includes a whiteboard. It's called GoBoard. And so you can have the video chat, talk to each other back and forth. And then it's also got a screen where you can write back and forth and solve out your problems together. So it's been working pretty slick. This is just kind of like our waiting room, like pop in, say, hey, I'd like some help. And that's where we meet you. Now, if anybody has any issues with Hangout, every once in a while, different operating systems are glitchy or whatever, we have a backup Meet. So you can also just click on the Meet, and then you'll just pop into a Meet with me. And again, we'll then go to the video chat with the whiteboard. So either way, you can get on with us. So the Hangout is being monitored every day, regular hours, 9 to 5, by the guys in the math lab on campus. However, dedicated online tutoring is available during these hours listed here below the Google Meet. And these are my hours, Tuesday and Wednesday, 3 to 6 in the afternoon, and then Thursdays and Fridays all day, 9 to 4. So hopefully those times work for people. We're also working with scheduling in if you can't come at any of those hours, trying to make something available for you guys to accommodate that. So I also should have sent everybody, I believe, an email. Erin, I'm not sure. Yeah, I should have sent it to all the foundation students, an email directly from me, Shannon Hogue. So you should have gotten that. And then you can just email me if you're like, hey, I can't get on any of those times. Can you meet me Monday? And we can try and work something out. But this is here. It's free. You don't have to make an appointment. You just pop in during the open times. Hopefully it's easy to find here. And that's all you need to do. And then we'll kind of guide you through from there. So I hope that'll be useful to folks. You can access us from wherever you are and get some help with your work. So any questions on that? Pretty straightforward.
Do you guys offer chemistry help when you say math and science, or?
Yes.
All right, I might be hitting you up on that maybe. We'll see.
Please do. Yeah, absolutely.
Also, if in the future you forget where to go, I am recording this part of it. And so when I upload it to Eagle Online, I'll make sure to put a disclaimer or a description, disclaimer, we don't need to have warning here, a description of what I covered so that if you're looking through the list, you're like, oh, right, that's how I get to the tutoring thing. So you can go back and watch the video and figure out where to go, okay? So this has all been recorded. So if you're like, I need to talk to Shannon, I don't remember how, you'll be able to find out.
So thanks a lot, guys. I'll let you go. Hope you have a great week, and hope we'll see some of you soon.
Bye. Thanks, Shannon.
Bye-bye.
All right. So now that we have that out of the way, we all know that we have tutoring available. Ta-da! And obviously, there's still, I have 5 office hours a week. And if you email me and one of those office hours doesn't work, I can also meet with you, right? We can do Zoom. Okay. So don't think that you're an island. 11 o'clock at night. No, I'm sorry. I'm not going to be available, right? But during the day, I'm available. So keep that in mind. All right. So we did our quiz, and for the most part, I think things went really well. There was a couple of problems that honestly every semester just kind of are difficult for students. So I want to go through those specific problems. And then we'll jump into the gradebook project, okay? So, all right, the good old stacked line chart, right? So I want you to remember we got men in blue and women in pink. The line indicates the amount that it's raising by. So if the line is steeper, that means it's going up more quickly. And as the line levels goes slower, it's got less growth. So remember, when figuring out unfortunately, the bottom section is always pretty easy to see because it is just for that line tops out. When you're trying to find the women, you have to subtract the two. So you would find the top end of the women, the bottom end of the women, which is the top end of the men, and you would subtract those values in order to get them. So the number, and again, if you want to be able to, can you guys see the bigger thing show up? Okay. So the first question was the number of college degrees awarded to men in 1990. So if we go to 1990, we're going up. We can see, ooh, old lady eyes here. What is it, like 550,000? It looks like if we scroll over. Yes. And these are in hundreds of thousands. So if it's 5.5, it's going to be 5.5 times 100,000, which then I would do. They're giving me 555. They're way more accurate than what I can tell on the graph, but I'm going to choose the number that's closest to what I'm identifying. The number of college degrees for women in 1990. Again, if we make this bigger, we know that the men was at 555. The women is topping out at like 10.75. So they look to be about similar. So when I subtract those, I personally get 5.2. And if I look at the options I have, the one that's closest to that is this 567. Because again, they are pretty similar to each other, these bands. And then about when were the numbers of bachelor's degrees equal for males and females? So again, when were they about equal? What we're talking about is when was this band the same as that band? And it looks to be about 1990. From then we're seeing men is declining, women is increasing. So the female band is getting bigger, and the male band is getting smaller. So, and then what decade did the total number of degrees increase the most? And so when we're looking at increase the most, this decade here from 1960 to 1970 is a very sharp incline for women. So we're seeing that total growth be the biggest. So that incline on that line is what's indicating to us that it's growing more there. Versus if we were looking from one decade to the next later, the 60s again is where that is growing the most, okay? And then do you think a stack plot is an effective way to display these data? And then I personally think this double bar graph would make it easier. So one for male, one for female next to each other. So you're not having to subtract the two. I personally don't like those. So you've got the changing in the total. So you would end up choosing the one that makes the most sense to you, okay? So questions about this problem. Okay, so let me go to my next one. It's gonna say, do you wanna leave? Yes, I don't care. Let me go to the next one that we all kind of struggled with. This bad boy. Big hinteroo. This question comes back on the test. Just gonna put that out there. Because what's important about it is we're talking about qualitative data versus quantitative data, right? And so if it says, look at the frequency table, and it's giving us religions, and then it's giving us the percent of students. So because it's giving us a category, religion, and a percent, we can represent this as a pie chart or a bar graph. If you go back to our definitions in, what was it, 1D or 1C? Which one did we talk about graphs in? 1C. So in our definitions of 1C, we talked about what can we use to represent these with, or no, 1D is where we got into the nitty gritty. So the graph types, you'll know, again, we've got the bar graph and the circle graph is when we're representing the relative frequency of something, the magnitude of it. And how I know that this is qualitative data is because, again, religions are categories. I can't take religion A and B and average them together, okay? So yes, there's a percent that's associated with it, but it's the number of A out of the total number of religions. And so again, that's giving us a qualitative data because religions are categories. Religions are not counts, right? And then just that information alone automatically rules out a line graph. We cannot use a line graph to represent this because when we think about a line graph, when we're connecting these 2 points, that's indicating that along that line, every single one of those data points works for our situation, and meaning you can average them, but we can't. We have very precise amounts, which is why the bar graph is the only one that's going to work. And again, you're going to choose the one that represents, that matches up with your table. So if I look at my table here, A has to be 13.5. So this first one, it doesn't even quite get to 15. It's a little closer to 10. And the second one is far closer to 15. So that's going to be the one that I choose. Again, you want these numbers in the table to match the height of the bar in the graph. So questions about that one? Okay, so remember, religions, categories, they're not, what am I trying to say? They're not data points, like they're not numbers. Yes, there's percentages associated with them, but the thing that we're looking at itself is a category. We can't average a religion, or anything like that. So those were the two that we seem to struggle with the most. Again, I have uploaded your, not uploaded, I corrected your written work if you submitted any, and I released the quiz so you can go back and review it against what I wrote on your written work. If there's anything that you have questions about, just let me know. But now we're going to get into looking at the gradebook project, okay? So let me pull up the PDF. Hold on one second. And everything else ready, and then I realized I forgot to do the PDF part. Hmm. Well, I can't bring it up on my tablet, but I can bring it up on my computer. Okay, so step one is create a Google Sheet. I talked about that already yesterday, right? So we needed to create a Google Sheet and we're going to use the layout. The next part is that we have to copy our homework and quiz scores from My Math Lab. So this is a little, and also from Eagle Online. So I'm going to go through this section first as to where you find those scores. So okay, so in Eagle or in My Math Lab, you're going to see when you click on your, is it your gradebook? I can't pull it up for it to look exactly like yours, but you know how on the left-hand side, what's it got? Let me see. So gradebook right here. It's going to then, mine doesn't have anything in it because again, I'm not enrolled as a student, but it's going to have your assignment and all of that stuff. But if, when you're in there, oh, for the love of Mike, I have to go through my admin account to do this. Okay. So when you're in there though, it should tell you the assignment and it should give you your correct total and then your score. Okay. And it gives you your score as a percentage. Okay. So when I look at 1A, I have a 90.48. So it might be helpful on a piece of paper to write this down, but instead of putting the 90.48, you're going to move that decimal point one time. So for this, I'm going to put a 9.05. And I'm going to go over to my layout. See if I can get this to split my screen. Okay, can you see both of them there? Yes, okay. So again, for 1A, I got a 90.48. So right here, I'm going to put a 9.05. Because again, what I'm doing is I'm moving that one decimal place. Okay. Here we go. Oh, don't you do this. The old technology. There we go. Okay, so for 1B, I got a 95%. So on my my spreadsheet, I'm going to put a 9.5. Again, all you're doing is moving that decimal place once. For quiz 1, I got an 83.33. Quizzes are out of 100, so I am going to report this as an 83.33. It's important that you don't try to make this a percent or anything. Just record it as a number, all right? We have to take the quizzes as the percent value, and we take the homework though as a number out of 10 because of the way all of the formulas are written. And if you don't follow that, then it's going to cause everything else to be thrown off, okay? So then again, I got my quiz review. I got 100%. So I'm going to go over here and put a 10. For 1C, I got a 76.92. So I'm going to do 7.69. 1D, I got a 10. 1E, I got a 9. So it was a 90%. Quiz 2, I have a 90.48. And then the quiz review, I got another 10. Okay, so that's where you get those points from. The other place we need to get points is for your attendance. Okay, so to get your attendance, we're going to go to Eagle Online and you're going to click on grades. And then it's going to show you a column that says points and then a column that says weight achieved. Ignore the weight achieved part. That's not important. All we're focusing on are the points. So the first thing is that you can see that week 2, I got 2 out of 2. So on my layout, I'm going to put a 2 in here. And then the second column, I'm going to put a 2 in there. Okay, because the second column is the points possible. So I got 2 points out of the possible 2 points. So for week 2, I got 4 points out of a possible 4. In week 3, I got 2.5 points out of a possible 2.5. I'm only going to record what I've earned, meaning, yes, I know weeks 4, 5, 6, blah, blah, blah. It shows these numbers here that it would be, that's what it's going to be out of in the future. But right now I haven't completed that week. I haven't earned anything. So do not fill in the rest of the points possible here, okay? Because doing that is also going to throw off your calculation. The whole point of the buying versus renting project is to give you something that's going to be pretty similar to how Eagle Online is calculating your grade and allow you to A, keep track of it yourself, and B, predict what your grade will be. Because I get the question all the time of, well, what is my grade going to be if I fail the final? Well, look at your gradebook project, because if you continue to plug your numbers in as the semester goes on, you'll be able to see your current grade. So once I've brought all my data over, I'm ready to start using the formulas. So now I'm going to pull this bad boy over here, make it small, make it small. Oh, I said small. All right, so we now have these formulas that we have to use. Okay, these are written in a way that will make them work. Okay, so it is important that you follow what I have written there. Okay, so you'll notice, how is this laid out? Well, it tells you go to cell location B2. So this right here is cell location B2. Okay, I'm gonna try to make this bigger so you can see what I'm gonna write. So what do I need to put in here? Well, I need to actually put this formula right there in there. So in B2, I'm going to do equals if, and then I'm going to do a parenthesis, B52 is greater than 0, comma 15%, comma 0. So what this is doing is it's establishing the weight for each grade category. And it's based upon, is there a value down in B52? Well, right now we don't have anything written in B52. So when I press enter, it's going to give me a 0%. That's okay, because the operation that we're telling Google Sheets is if B52 is greater than 0, put a 15% in here. If not, put a 0%. That's what these two statements mean. Then you're going to move along to D2. Again, here it's going if D51. Oops. And again, there's nothing in D51, so it's not going to, it's going to give you a 0%. So I want you to notice that I have laid this out for you to help you put all these calculations in, okay? So you'll have to redo, you'll have to name some cell ranges. We've already done that, right? You'll need to use the sum function. We have a new function called count. And you've got all of your next stuff. Again, it's telling you where the cell location is, blah, blah, blah. And then you have this big final equation you're going to put in all the way down here in B56, which is going to give us our current grade. Again, it's as close to I can get Google Sheets to calculate for what Eagle Online is doing. Okay, it's got the weighting in there, it's got all of that. All right. So that is the first part of your project. Okay. So in your project, you're going to want to rename your sheet to Gradebook because you're going to add a second sheet to it. And in the second sheet, you're now going to do the GPA portion of it. Okay. So I'm going to send you all a layout for the GPA. I forgot to do it as a PDF. So I'm just going to email that out for you for the layout I want you to use for the GPA portion. But after the layout, you're then going to follow the instructions that I have here. Okay. And so pay attention to this last step. Minimize this and blow this up. Right down here, you are going to be calculating her first semester GPA, her second semester GPA, and then you're going to calculate the overall GPA. And I want you to think back to what we did in 1F when we were calculating GPA and how it was different for the two semesters to then get the total, right? We didn't just average them together. I want you to keep that in mind. So, questions for me?
Where do we find that sheet that we're going to be putting onto the Google Docs?
The sheet we're going to be,
Yeah.
it's in your notebook.
Oh,
So if you
okay.
look in your notebook, it's on the, let's see, where is it? Gradebook project starts on page 137 in your notebook. Yeah, on the table of contents, it's like you've got units 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it says projects, and then it says appendix. In the projects, it's the Gradebook project, page 137. All the instructions are there. I just haven't put the layout for the GPA portion of it in there yet. But like I said, I'm gonna send that PDF out today. So I'll get that emailed out. I'll also put a copy of it in Eagle Online too. Any other questions? So I'm sure you're like, well, when's this bad boy due? Gradebook project is going to be due next Tuesday. So Tuesday, the 21st. So you got a little less than a week to do it. They give you a weekend, right? Like there's time. And I honestly, it goes pretty fast because all the formulas are there. Any questions? New questions, right? So on Tuesday, I'll go over, or not Tuesday, Monday. Monday, I will go over where you need to submit this. Okay, and how to submit it, because we're going to submit it through the assignments. And so you'll have to submit it through Gradebook, through the Gradebook project, but you're going to be sending me a link because you're going to do this in Google Sheets. And so there's going to be a two-step process. You're going to be uploading a scanned copy of the grade rubric, the grading rubric that's in your notebook, and then you're going to be adding a shared link to your sheet in the comments. And I'll show you how to do that when we have class on Monday. I don't want to give you too much information today and overwhelm you all. So, all right. Well, that's all I have in terms of telling you what to do. If you have more questions for me, anybody has questions about their quiz or their homework or pursuit of happiness, I come up short on that one, I'll tell you that much. But everything else I can help with. All right, well, thanks everyone. I hope you have a good day, and I will get that PDF sent out real quick. Post paste, right? All right, I hope you all have a good weekend, and I will see you Monday. Bye.